a moment until that's begun, and then we'll start.
Okay, we
Okay,
can start.
perfect. Okay, well, hello everyone, and good morning, and welcome to today's session, which is about the double degree opportunities with Bayes Business School and the relationship we have with Cattolica. We're going to talk for about 15-20 minutes tops and the presentation, and then we will have a lot of opportunity for Q&A as well. I did visit Cattolica, it was probably around October actually, and possibly I met some of you in person at that point, and I delivered a presentation. So we'll cover some of the same things, but also we'll go into a little bit more detail about course content, and also we're lucky to have Natasha Todorovic with us as well, who is one of our associate professors of finance at Bayes Business School and the course director for our MSc in finance, which is one of the options available as part of the double degree. We're also joined by Stuart Wallace, who is a senior recruitment officer. So he joined my team recently, but has also worked in admissions and leads on the international partnerships that we have. And myself, Alex Jones, I'm the marketing and recruitment manager for our MSc courses. So I will deliver the presentation, but then, there's a lot of us here in the room able to answer your questions as well. So if you've got kind of questions, we want more detail about the course here, then we'll be able to cover those. And having Natasha in the room is a really great opportunity to have one of the key members of faculty here to be able to answer questions around content as well. So as you may be aware, there are 3 master's courses that sit within our finance cluster that are available as part of the double degree with Cattolica. And they are the MSc in finance, the MSc in corporate finance, and the MSc in banking and international finance. And as part of the relationship, there is quite a significant fee reduction on those courses. So it is £24,000 for this intake. And that is quite significant. That is almost a third reduction in the fees. So kind of just over £10,000. So it is, quite a great, relationship and agreement that is in place there. And they sit within our wider portfolio. So we've got over 25 different master's courses, and you can see we had to go further within finance, but also areas like actuarial and risk management and quantitative finance, real estate, and shipping and energy. So you'll have plenty of opportunities if you came to Bayes to also be networking and mixing with people from other courses as well. Now, our location in London is, I think, one of the best that you can get to come study a master's in finance. You will be located right in the centre of London, right on the doorstep of the City of London, the square mile kind of global financial hub, kind of been the centre of London for about 2,000 years. And also right on the doorstep of the tech city, which has emerged over the last kind of 15-20 years. It's a big startup scene, but also kind of large established tech firms as well, and a big creative hub. And when I say that we're on the doorstep, this is very much in a literal sense. You turn right out of the front door, you're straight in the City of London, you turn left, it's the tech city. Now, why does that matter? Well, it means that we are surrounded by thousands of companies that thousands upon thousands of our alumni work for, and where many of you may look to go and find employment afterwards as well. And often they're, large, kind of global headquarters as well. It means then logistically, meeting someone for that kind of, important coffee chat, or going to an event taking place at a company, or maybe attending an interview, is all a short walk from your campus. It also means that when we have events on campus, which we do on a weekly basis, our alumni can finish their jobs in the evenings, walk around the corner, and come back to the campus and attend those events. And those 100 odd alumni that will have come to attend that event that you're also going to will be exactly the kind of people you'll be wanting to meet. So that's where the network really comes to life, and you really get that access to it. But Bayes, it's not just about local connections. We're a global business school, and you will have a global network as a result. At the business school itself, there's well over 50,000 alumni spread throughout the world. We're part of a larger university, which is City St. George's, and they have over 175,000 alumni spread worldwide. So you can see there's this huge network that keeps expanding. We have great international partnerships, such as the one with Cattolica. We also have a range of international electives that you can choose to do as part of your course. And the classroom itself, I would say, will be one of the most diverse classrooms you would find yourself in. So typically 90% of our students are international. So you will get a lot of opportunity to study and to work, and also, I think, just as importantly, make friendships with people from around the world. Now, I'll just give you a kind of brief overview of the 3 different courses that are part of the double degree relationship. I'll then go into a little bit more about course content. And as I said, Natasha is here, who is one of our associate professors within finance and the course director for the MSc in finance. And she is part of one of the largest and most widely recognized finance faculties in the whole world. The MSc in finance itself will prepare you for a career in global finance, and it is one of our ranked degrees. It's ranked 5th best in the UK and 1st in London for career progress. These are the latest Financial Times rankings. This course also allows you some exemptions from the exams of CIMA and ACCA, which some students go on to do next, and is also one of our CFA partner programs. MSc in Corporate Finance is one of the other choices you could go for. And as the name suggests, it's about exploring the big issues within corporate finance, and it will prepare you for a career within a finance department or global corporation or consultancy firm. And again, it has the same exemptions and is also a CFA partner program. The third option is the MSc in Banking and International Finance. And again, as the title suggests, it is more geared up to get you a career within global banking and international financial markets. It's fully accredited by the Chartered Bankers Institute. And we have a dedicated centre for banking research at the school, and is also one of our CFA partner programs. I just want to talk a little bit about the content and some of the differences between the courses. So they will all follow the 3-term structure. The MSc in Finance starts with core modules in financial markets and securities, corporate finance and valuation, financial reporting, and data analysis for finance. It is then followed by a block of exams. You then start term 2, of which is asset management, derivatives and risk management, and you have a choice of 2 from international finance, fixed income, and advanced corporate finance. Then you come into another block of exams. Then you come into your 3rd term, and this is when you can really, specialize and focus on those areas that are of greatest interest to you, and to help kind of shape your course as a stepping stone into that stage of your career. So you can choose to do option 1, which is a research project plus 3 specialist electives, or option 2, which is 2 core modules of mergers and acquisitions and trading and market microstructure, and 3 specialist electives and a career management skills and research methods module. Now, I mentioned at the start, we've got a huge choice of master's courses. We also have a wide range of different finance courses within that. So as a result, there's a big portfolio of electives you can choose from as well. And the list at the bottom there, I won't go through them all, but that is just a taste of some of the ones that you can choose from, plus some international electives as well. MSc in Corporate Finance, you'll see in the first term there are some crossovers in modules, but also some differences with theory of finance and research methods. Again, block of exams at the end. Then term 2, topics in M&A, advanced corporate finance, corporate risk management and financial statements analysis. And then term 3, research project and 3 electives, or 5 electives and the careers module. And again, a wide range of electives to choose from. Finally, banking and international finance, again, the same 3-term structure, but you'll see quite a few differences within the course content. So term 1, global banking, financial statements analysis, principles of finance and valuation, data analytics for banking and finance, and then research methods in modern finance, which runs over the first 2 terms. Term 2 is bank risk management and international finance, and then a choice of 2 within corporate finance, fixed income, alternative investments, and topics in M&A. And third term, the same as with corporate finance, with a project and 3 electives, or 5 electives and a careers module. And again, a huge choice when it comes to those electives. Now, the faculty that will teach you on these courses are world-leading researchers and also have real industry experience. So they can perfectly balance those 2 things together to ensure that what you're learning is touching upon current business scenarios. And the way in which you are taught will be an interaction of a number of different things. Lectures, of course, a key part of how you will be taught, but there's a big focus on learning by doing and practical application of knowledge. One of the ways that is done is through a lot of case study teaching taking place. And there's also going to be guest speakers, so visiting members of faculty, but also people from within industry. And then group work, it is how you are assessed a lot of the time, but it's also how you learn. Particularly at this level, you are going to be a lot of different experience, a lot of different ideas in a room, and it's a way to learn from each other as well as from the academics. Now, another team that are going to be key and a key ally for you and someone you form a strong relationship with is our careers team. So we've got a dedicated postgraduate careers team at Bayes, and you will have a one-to-one contact there. So you will have a careers relationship manager who will support you throughout your journey and also for years beyond as well. And the careers team have a wide ranging remit. They're responsible for corporate engagement. So they run a careers fair at the start of term. I think last year we had about 80 different firms come along to that. They're also getting, alumni engaged, say panels representing different industries, and often that kind of, soft approach to recruitment is often how our students will find their jobs. The careers team are also responsible for coaching you, for giving you advice, preparing you for job interviews, helping you with your CVs and LinkedIn, particularly, if you're coming to a different country for the first time, there's can be slightly different ways of doing things or slightly different ways of presenting your CV. So they will be able to give you that guidance. And they have a wide range of soft skill development classes that they will run, often focus around leadership and teamwork, but say presentation skills, for example, is another one. And you will have a kind of timetable of those throughout the year as well. They also have a lot of online resources, some that if you're joining us, they will open up over the summer to help make sure you can hit the ground running, but also a jobs board. So alumni often come back with job opportunities and they will be posted there. So sometimes you might see some exclusive opportunities that are first announced on our jobs board. So what does it all mean? What does it lead to? Well, we get great results, and we basically send out a survey to our students who graduated and collect the information 3 months after they graduated. So these are the students that graduated in 2023. those who graduated last year, we're currently still completing the survey. So this is the latest information, and you will see a lot of names of institutions and banks and finance firms, investment firms that you will recognize there on the screen, along with companies like Deloitte, Ernst & Young, large employers, JP Morgan, Lloyd's of London, just around the corner from us, Bain and Company, a huge range, and some of the top firms within those industries. On the right hand side, you can see some job titles. So like I said, these were typically entry-level positions because this is 3 months after graduation, and a lot of our students will come in without any work experience. But of course, the kind of level of position you go into will depend slightly on any experience that you were bringing in. But there's a kind of selection of kind of often analyst positions, associate roles tend to be kind of the entry-level roles, but there are some more senior positions there as well. Now, looking a little bit further down the line, kind of 5 or 10 years after graduation, you can see the kind of progression that our students have made into more senior management positions, vice president, head roles, again in a wide range of large name companies. I mean, Bank of England, again, less than a 10-minute walk, brisk 5-minute walk from our front door. Bloomberg, again, short walk away. JP Morgan, Deloitte, Citibank. So, you see the kind of growth and progression that students get in a relatively short period of time. Just going to talk about some events coming up that we have, which would be of interest to you. We have this week and over the next couple of weeks a lot of online events taking place where we're having a deep dive, deeper than I've gone into there because that was still quite a kind of surface level, into our different courses. Now, for the 3 partnership courses, we have an event for Banking and International Finance, which is actually today at 2 p.m. We also have one for MSc in Corporate Finance, which is on the 3rd of February at 12 p.m. and MSc in Finance, 4th of February at 2 p.m. So these will all be hosted by the course director along with the Careers Relationship Manager as well. And they're all in local time for yourself. We're also going to be coming to Milan on the 12th of March. The sign-up form isn't available for this yet, and we're still finalizing some of the details, but we will be there, and it would be great to be able to meet you in person as well. And Natasha will be there as well, and also my colleague Mashid Fazeli. So we will distribute information to you about that via Margarita to let you know, because it would be wonderful to see you in Milan as well in what, about kind of 6 or 7 weeks time. Okay, so that concludes my presentation. So we'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you've got. You could put them in the chat, or if you want to unmute yourself, then please put your hand up or just unmute yourself, and we'll be happy to answer anything that you've got. Like I said, this is a great opportunity because you've kind of got all the people in the room that you might want to speak to, really, with the course director for the MSc in Finance, Stuart, who has worked in admissions for many years, but also leads on the international partnerships, and also Margarita, who I'm sure you're all familiar with already. But it's kind of a golden opportunity to ask anything that you would like to know.
Yes, don't be shy. If you want to write the questions in the chat, it's fine.
Yeah, it might be.
Help them out a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah, you go for it.
To tell them a little bit more of what's going on in the classroom and what they can expect to come here, and perhaps that's where the questions will come in, I guess. So our lectures are typically structured to run 2 hours, but we normally have sort of an additional plus 1 hour of material that we give you. It's either pre-recorded videos or some case studies to read or some exercises to do outside of the classroom, so that altogether you can expect about 3 hours of sort of contact time from the lecturer per week, but the actual face-to-face time is about 2 hours per week, plus additional tutorials in some modules, not necessarily every week, depending on how the lecturer works and how maybe quantitative and demanding in that sense the subject is. So for instance, for data analysis, you would have to use computer rooms because there will be some Python programming. So obviously for those, for modules like that, perhaps a little bit more tutorial time would be necessary. And in terms of what we do with you, we actually put a lot of emphasis on applications, on vocational element of the course, and on experiential learning. So what that means is that, for example, for the assignment, I'm not going to give you to write an essay or to write what you know about portfolio construction techniques. I'm actually, because my area is asset management, and for those of you who will be on MSc Finance, I will be teaching you asset management in the second term. In fact, I have a lecture with MSc Finance students at 11 o'clock, so that I'm hoping to make on time. Basically, what I would ask from them in the assignment is this year, we're going to play an asset allocation game where they will have to log into a website which basically simulates the real world. And they will be getting a lot of information about various asset classes in that simulated world. And they will have to construct a portfolio for a client that I give them. And this year, I will give them maybe a sovereign wealth fund or a pension fund as a client. And they will need to think about what's the risk level that that client can take and which assets are suitable for my client to invest in. So they will construct a portfolio for the client, and they will run that portfolio over in the game. That period represents a year and a half. And at the end of that period, they would have to, and in fact for us that will be just a few weeks, and at the end of that period they will have to compute the performance, which I will teach them, of course, in the class. I will teach them all these portfolio management techniques and how you read the signals from the market and so on. And basically you apply it then, you measure the performance, and you need to write a report to the client. So it can happen that you didn't do particularly well, which is not a problem as long as you explain to the client why you think you didn't do well and what you think you could have done better. So, we don't mark those kind of things as to how well you did, because obviously this is a learning curve and it is expected that there will be many attempts to do well, but the actual result may not necessarily be that great. So that is not something to worry about. It's important that you take every opportunity while you're here to learn. And we will offer many of these opportunities. So that's, for example, through the assignment, how we will try and give you some experience that is not necessarily what you read from the textbook. Also, our career service runs simulations with a company called Amplify Me, which are very well known. And we are basically one of the first business schools to pioneer these simulations to bring them to our students. Basically, these simulations could be in, for example, either sales and trading or M&A, mergers and acquisitions, or this week, I believe they're doing, or next week, sorry, they're doing the investment management, so asset management simulation, which basically in about 3 hours time, the simulation gives you an insight of what would be like to work as an M&A analyst, as a sales and trading person, as an analyst within the asset management firm, and so on and so forth. So it gives you an idea of the various career types, so that when you are searching for your internships and your jobs, you actually know, oh, this doesn't fit me very much, so I'm not going to look anymore for sales and trading or relationships management jobs because it's too intense for me and I don't like it. Or it could be the other way around, that you never thought about working as an M&A analyst, and you actually enjoy the simulation so much that you realize that that is actually what you would like to apply for and the career pathway that you would like to take. So I hope this gives you a little bit of an insight as to how things work, that it's not necessarily all about let's learn this model or that model and so on, but it's also about how do we apply this and what do we do with it. And we really would love you all to find internships in London, back home in Milan, or wherever else in Italy you may be looking for, or in Europe you may be looking for. And we try to sort of support you in that as much as possible. So I hope this information helps and maybe triggers some additional questions.
What, hi, can you hear me? I'm sorry, we never met.
Yes,
My
we
name,
haven't.
My name is Clara Anghileri. I work in the international office. I'm a colleague with Margherita. And yes, you connected me immediately because I am a fanatic about employability, okay, towards our students. And that's what I do. I mean, I don't follow any particular program. I just support my colleagues and all the students in order to understand what they want to be, what they want to become once they're finished, okay? And too often our students don't really have an answer. When you ask them, what would you like to do? They look at me and says, well, I don't really know, because here in our university, we have an excellent academic preparation, but sometimes we do lack what you define as experiential learning, have the possibility to learn, hands-on from real, everything that, our students do study. So taking the opportunity, I wanted to share with my students that taking the opportunity to go abroad for an experience like this will be just fantastic for you guys, because you'll have the opportunity to close the cycle. Okay, you have knowledge, and then you go there, you try yourself out of your area of comfort. You do develop all the intercultural skills that are very important for your future, for your employer, but you also learn different things, different ways, and in order to understand what, where your talent stands, what you would like to do, okay? Exactly as Natasha was sharing with us. And I can assure you that once you'll be looking for a position, for an internship, the fact that you know that you like it, you'll be definitely more assertive and reliable, okay, towards the employer, because they know what you're talking about, okay? And the fact that you went abroad, of course, makes you out, much more interesting than everybody else. So thank you very much. And I want to come too. Why not?
Excellent. Thanks, Clara, and thanks, Natasha. Yeah, I think that really, added some great kind of color and detail to it, and yeah, the benefits of doing this, and yeah, through that approach to learning, supplemented by the careers team at Bayes that will be supporting you, and yeah, learning by doing. Like I said, it's the way that things really sink in, but also, yeah, gives you that exposure so you can understand more about the realities and the roles that you would want to go on to do. And we kind of use the expression desk ready, so you're ready to go in and do those roles once you've finished.
Yeah, and is it correct that as students, well, they will come with a student visa, but then they have the possibility to ask for a working visa? I think
Yes.
that we have a girl that she's going to finish the program, and she told me that she found a job in London. So I think
Fantastic.
that's very, very cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so that opportunity, I mean, obviously, as everyone knows, Brexit took place, but it hasn't prevented the opportunities to find work after study. And there's this option called, it's kind of the graduate route visa, where there's this opportunity to have a 2-year visa after completion of your studies, but also kind of the golden ticket, or the things that students really want to get, would be a sponsored visa where the company sponsors, which would be even better. And that is something that is an opportunity as well. So yeah, there's a couple of options there post completion of studies. Okay, I'm just going to post in the chat. I mean, I did put a QR code on there, but I'm going to just put a link in the chat because I think you could see when Natasha spoke, you know, the extra detail and insight that she could give on the course. And as I said, for finance, we're running a dedicated course, but also for banking and corporate finance, sorry, dedicated online session, where you can hear from the course director in more detail and ask some questions. So as I said, banking one is actually today, depending on your timetable availability, and the others you've got a little bit more time to prepare because they're the following week.
Yes, and then the 12th of March, you will
Yes.
be in Milan, right?
We'll be in Milan. Yes, Natasha and Mashid will be in Milan. So yes, would be, you know, great to be able to see you there, and we'll share the login detail, the registration details for that once it's ready. And some of our alumni will be there as well, so a good chance to meet with them too.
Yeah, well, we are going to close our call for applications on March 3rd, but
Okay.
well, selected students can come, or students who are doing the bachelor and are interested in applying next year. I think it's a good opportunity for them.
Definitely. Yeah, we would love to see you there. So yeah, please do come along. Great. Okay, I think if we don't have any other questions, unless there's any, Margherita, are there any other points that you wanted to touch on that we haven't done?
Well, to apply, they need to have either an IELTS or TOEFL or PT, correct? I don't know if there are other language prerequisites. Maybe if you want to share this.
Yeah, certainly.
Briefly.
Stuart, I'll ask you to come in at this point. I mean, yes, IELTS, TOEFL, PTE are the main three, but Stuart, do you want to just kind of go in that a bit more detail?
Yep, that's correct, Margherita. Those are the three tests that we can accept. They normally, well, they have a 2-year sort of validity period from the time that we provide you what is known as a CAS number, which is a unique document that confirms that the university will be sponsoring your student visa. So we normally start issuing these in the June before you come. So therefore, validity periods would be from June 2023 onwards. These tests are not a prerequisite to apply and will commonly follow at a later date. So if you haven't taken one yet, you can just indicate on your application form either obviously your willingness to take one, but also if you have a test date booked. The admissions panel will be reviewing your applications, and if you're offered, made a conditional offer, then one of the conditions will be to take one of those English language tests, and you would have until the 1st of August to provide all outstanding documents. So this also includes your interim transcript, which Margherita will be able to provide, a copy of your translated bachelor degrees as well, which again Margherita can provide, and your English language test. So it's something to think about, but if you haven't booked it yet, it isn't a problem.
Yes, exactly. Once we close our call for applications, we will contact all the selected students and then we'll give you all the information. So don't worry about this now. Just remember to apply by March 3rd through our website.
Perfect. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening today. And yeah, we look forward to receiving your applications and hopefully seeing you here in London from September onwards.
Yeah, thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you.
Yes, thank you.
No problem.
Thanks,
Thanks everyone.